Hello friendos, and welcome to my channel, where today I'm going to talk about games I'm looking forward to in 2021. Now there's a lot of games that I want to talk about today, but I'm going to keep things really short and simple and talk about the 5 that I'm most excited to play. Now if you've been around for a while on this channel, first of all, thank you! And second, I will be omitting Psychonauts 2 once again on the grounds that I have covered that in my most anticipated games of 2019 video when I thought it was going to come out in 2019. I've waited long enough and I wanted to play it really badly, but I'm going to focus on some other games today. Also, Scott Pilgrim would totally have been on this list if I had gotten this video done faster, but I didn't, so instead I'm just playing it now and being distracted by it instead of making this video. So yeah, let's talk about some games I actually want to talk about so I can get back to playing the Scott Pilgrim game. But first, there's a lot of games coming out in 2021 that deserve at least a bit of a spotlight. So let's just roll that beautiful bean footage, baby. Can you tell I've had one too many cans of Mountain Dew Voltage while recording this video? 'Cause I can. I'm going to be talking about 5 games that are currently slated to come out in 2021 that I'm excited for. I'm going to tell you about the game, why I'm excited, and do all that usual stuff you've probably come to expect from people on YouTube at this point talking about video games. So we'll just roll with it. There's a bunch I want to talk about here, so let's not waste any more time and just jump right in. Roll that beautiful bean footage, baby! Now, I'll admit that I don't know that much about Back 4 Blood outside of what was revealed during the Game Awards this past year, but I do know that Turtle Rock Studios is the one behind this, and they're the ones who made Evolve. That okay asymmetric experience that came out in like 2015. You play as a giant monster or like one of 4 hunters, and one of them had a dog. Oh yeah, they also made Left 4 Dead. Beyond that though, there are a few things of note that seem to separate this one from the Valve favorite franchise, so that's what's more important here. It's not just 4 players storming through hordes of infected on their way to safe houses anymore. Now there's more of a story behind this group of hunters. Instead of being everymen trying to just survive, players take on the role of cleaners, blasting their way through swarms of the ridden to make areas safe for other survivors, effectively making them post-apocalyptic exterminators. These cleaners also utilize a card-based customization system, so instead of just relying on what pickups you can find in a given area while dealing with the game's AI adjusting depending on how you're doing, you can actually go into rounds with a bit more of an advantage this time. Or if you want the more classic Left 4 Dead experience, there is an option for that as well, making this not only a true spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, but almost a true-to-form sequel. Just don't call this one Left 4 Dead 3, because I think the last thing we need to give Gabe Newell is an aneurysm. But the cleaners aren't the only facet of this game. It'd be pretty boring if that was the case. While many of the special infected that have been shown off feel like natural extensions or just reworks of the ones found in Left 4 Dead, that's fine with me. Just having a new Left 4 Dead experience is good enough for me, but the changes to how players progress and implementation of more story elements are welcome additions to the gameplay that I already enjoy. As of right now, the game is scheduled to release on June 22nd of this year, and if all goes well, hopefully we'll all be slaying hordes of the Ridden together in no time. It is still incredible to me how many great games were released on the N64. While I may have mostly been a PlayStation player when I was younger because, well, we had PlayStation systems when I was growing up, it's undeniable that some of the greatest games to ever release came out on Nintendo's third home console. I could honestly just go on and on talking about how many great games were on it. I didn't even have to mention any here for you to really have like 10 pop into your head anyways, but you all probably know which game I want to talk about for this list, so no point in delaying the inevitable. Announced during the Pokemon Presents presentation in June of 2020, Nintendo finally answered the prayers of so many Nintendo and Pokemon loyal fans by dropping a teaser trailer for new Pokemon Snap. Why Nintendo continues to call sequels and hardware upgrades new consistently, I will never know. But I guess they had to make sure people knew they were making a brand new Pokemon Snap game instead of just releasing the original onto the eShop, and I suppose it helps uninformed parents and relatives from accidentally grabbing a N64 cartridge instead of a Switch cartridge for Christmas. That'd be stupid. Nintendo hasn't really shown much in the few trailers they've dropped for the game, but all we need to be shown is an on-rails experience where the entire purpose of the game is to take photos of Pokemon, occasionally interacting with them to maybe change something in the environment or to complete special quests, or to just throw an apple at something because it looks weird. And all of that is here in this new game. So it's already one of my most hyped games of the year. I feel like it's going to be a lot more than just that, but given how much the Pokemon franchise hasn't really iterated on its core concept over the years, it would be nice to see more side games like this release in general. And with the release of new Pokemon Snap, I hope that this leads to Nintendo and Game Freak branching out more with the franchise. So here's hoping for a follow-up to Hey You Pikachu sometime in 2023. But until then, new Pokemon Snap drops at the end of April this year, so I guess that'll do for now. The more that Bethesda and Arcane have shared about Deathloop, the more interested I've become overall. Being able to explore an island enthralled in a gigantic, everlasting party that's stuck in a perpetual time loop on its own sounds like a lot of fun. But the fact that you can utilize the time loops to find faster and faster ways of dispatching your 8 targets sounds like it'll offer players a lot of creative ways of actually going about doing things. And by things, I of course mean murdering people. Colt's primary goal through the story of the game is to take out 8 individuals across the island to stop said time loop, and players will utilize the various weapons, powers, and parkour abilities Arcane is known for from the Dishonored series to find clever and creative ways of taking out their foes. But these 8 aren't pushovers, each one being just as big a threat as the last, and that doesn't even factor in the 9th threat to your progression, Juliana. Similar to how in the first Watch Dogs, players could infiltrate another player's game to hack them and perpetuate the hacker-on-hacker violence, as it were, players can swap over to playing as Juliana at any point to enter another player's game and try and take them out. It adds a level of chaotic randomness to a game, all about finding patterns and executing on said plans, but you can also just swap out the random player dropping in for a random AI-controlled Juliana if you're a coward. Ultimately, I think Deathloop will be one of the breakout early hits for the PlayStation 5, even if it only has a year exclusivity thanks to Xbox buying Bethesda, but I'm still excited for it either way. I'm just ready to jump into this game and see what chaos I can cause, and I only have to wait until May 21st to do just that. I love it when a game is able to sell me on its visuals alone, and considering the team at Ember Labs is known for making animated commercials and short films that emphasize character and style, it's no wonder that Kena Bridge of Spirits looks as good as it does. With an animation style that fits right alongside modern Disney films in terms of quality, on top of hack and slash combat, Kena looks like what I would assume Insomniac was originally trying to make with Girl with a Stick, the game they were developing before they eventually shifted gears and made the first Ratchet and Clank game on PlayStation 2. Combine that with a whimsical world of spirits and monsters, as well as implement some Pikmin gameplay in there with these little fun guys, and this game has me beyond excited for what's to come. I've had my eye on Ember Labs ever since they released that incredible Majora's Mask animation, and knowing that the same people who made that are working on this has me eager to see just how dark this story could actually become. Thankfully, to that point, one of my main concerns I had during my PlayStation 5 showcase video has actually been somewhat addressed. These little spirit pudge ball things are just super adorable, and I will defend them all to the end of time, and I will not forgive Ember Labs if there is an emotional scene in this game where they all die. Do not do this to me. This is your one warning. According to the Game Informer cover story on the game, the developers have confirmed that these cute little pudge balls called the Rot cannot be hurt, and instead act as an upgrade system for puzzle solving and to help fight against enemies. And knowing that throughout my journey that they will be safe has put me at ease and has made Kena one of my most anticipated games of the year. And yet, there's still one game that I am still even more eager for than this. I mean, come on. How could it not be this? Ratchet & Clank is just one of my all-time favorite series in gaming, and with everything they've shown off since its reveal, I can honestly say that this is my second most anticipated game of 2021. My most anticipated game is still Psychonauts 2, but I'm not talking about that, so let's just move on. Everything about the reveals they've shown has me excited. The visuals are an astounding upgrade from previous entries, showcasing the power of the PlayStation 5 more than any other game shown off thus far. The new weapons look just as clever and silly as the usual fare, and I'm eager to see how things evolve along with any weapons they haven't shown. And of course, I'm eager to see the story unfold, with the unlimited potential of dimension hopping offering a whole host of possibilities, including this little cutie right here. And yes, I know I said I'd make a theory video talking about who she is. I'm still planning on making that. I just want to wait a little bit longer so that a bit more info can come out, maybe from like another trailer or something, Insomniac, wink wink, before I let that happen. It's written, ready to go. I just need a name so I can call her something other than Lombax Girl, and maybe one or two extra things to potentially help a theory or two here or there. But yeah, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is my most anticipated game of 2020 for the sole purpose of this video. There are obviously a lot of games I'm excited for, but these are the 5 I felt like I had something to say as to why I'm excited for them, other than just thinking they're neat. I'll probably play even more than what I've shown here, either in my montage or the 5 that I talked about, but for now, I'm gonna go back to playing Scott Pilgrim. Thanks for watching, hit like, subscribe, or whatever, you know the drill. Okay, thanks, bye!